What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to today's market analysis, pre-market analysis session. Today is Thursday, July 17th, and let's dive straight into pre-market. We have 10 minutes until market opens, and let's see what we can set ourselves up for here today. So let's go ahead and get started immediately. But before that, our first step is to always go ahead and check out the financial news for the day. So, US retail sales come in stronger than expected, and jobless claims came in lower than expected. Uh, uh, uh. Mhm. Jobless claims coming in lower. Essentially, this is nothing too significant. Came in a bit lower, but the forecast is 233, we had 221. It isn't significant enough to drive a movement in the market, and none of these as well. And we have no other news for the day that we need to worry about. So let's go ahead and chart out ES, and then we'll go ahead and do the same on NQ. My God. Saw this big wick down from Grandpa Trump dropping price with the Powell news and all that. I'm not expecting us to go down there without volatility. We might, from where we're sitting at right now, we either move down or we head up. It's gonna be a coin flip, right? And we don't want to play coin flip. I'm going to go ahead and consider this a 3 hour. Not the highest quality 3 hour, but it's definitely apparent with this aggressive sell side move down. This is definitely going to be 3 hour. That's a 3 hour there. Let's go to 2 hour. And we already made new liquidity, so technically we would have swept these highs. We swept those highs and now we're starting to make a move lower. Just keep that in mind. Nothing too significant though, nothing we really need to worry about at this point. We do have this 2 hour there, that's been there before. Yeah, man, I can't say much. We've just been in this range for quite a bit now. Once we break out, we need to see aggression towards one side, because something like this would have been much easier to chart and use our levels towards our advantage as compared to all this choppiness that we've been getting. Ooh, one thing that I'm noticing on Bookmap right now is a liquidity flip. We swept this lower liquidity, and now right at that point, we've created new liquidity. Market hasn't opened yet, so who knows about how it will play out, but that's simply what I'm seeing. Alright, not seeing not much else on the 2 hour. We do have levels up towards these highs right here, which do seem to have get swept out. As you can see here, the The actual significance of such, I'm not too confident on such because I am leaning towards the upside simply because of how this trend started moving back up. The significant sell side came because of the Powell news. Now it looks like we're coming back up unless we see strong reaction here with selling and with bookmap showing selling, then you can enter shorts, but for now I am leaning towards the long side and there's a 1 hour demand there as well. Uh, uh, I mean, I don't really want to mark that since there's a 1 hour here, but it's a 3 hour, pretty significant. Go ahead and reduce the, I'll reduce it to down here. There, that should correspond with similar results. Just so that there's a bit of wiggle room between these two levels for aesthetic reasons and also functionality reasons. But again, not seeing much else. We truly have to utilize the 30-minute when 90% of the times you barely even utilize the 30-minute. And today it doesn't even look like we'll be able to utilize it. Maybe another 30-minute demand zone here, but other than that, I'm not seeing many levels on the 30-minute either. And what this tells me as all these demand zones are continuously moving higher, that's showing me buyer aggression, potentially passive buyer aggression, because as sellers come in, lots of passive buyers absorbing all these sellers pop up. Same here. This was Trump pump when he said not planning on doing anything, but that trend seemed to have continued out. But yeah, that's on 30-minute. 15-minute. Mm, 15-minute, I'm not seeing much else either. We'll keep it a buck. Yeah, nothing else either on the 15-minute. So I mean, we just have to play on the 5-minute, but let's go ahead and can do our volume profiles. Volume in the center one, but distributed throughout this area. Not bad at all. Distributed throughout the 3 levels. Mm, volume's where we're at right now. Volume is still where we're at right now. Volume is essentially in this entire range, other than the point where we break above this level right here. So that leads me to believe that once we've broken this level, which is, let's see, 6300 is down there. So 6300 is a point of control essentially, right? And that 6300 level has been playing out very nicely around these last few days in terms of reversal plays. But once you move up, there's still a bit of resistance. But once you get to that overall 315-ish level or this liquidity level and you break above it with strength, it will be pretty easy to get all the way to these all-time highs simply because not a lot of volume has been generated yet. So if you break above, you can simply carry the longs all the way to the top unless you see any bookmap invalidation or things of that nature. But yeah, market's gonna open in 1 minute, so I do want to watch that on the side, but we can still continue our charting as such. And I want to validate and see reaction off of each of these different zones on the 1 hour footprint. Not seeing much there, just volume increase, nothing too significant, but we did see buyer aggression to a decent extent. This next candle has a lot more seller delta, simply because of the fact that we broke that passive seller area up near these levels, 630, around here, 63.8. Now here we do seem to be seeing seller delta, but the volume that was generated at that time was not very significant at all. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. You have 3K and 2K volume. Seems to be a simple shift in market characteristics. It's not significant volume for us to do, but those are going to be the overnight lows, so the liquidity is going to still be marked there. Simply, we're not marking out a demand zone there. Finally, we have a 30-minute here, which you can just go on here and analyze and see right here. In this one, we do see lots of volume and buyer aggression with 69,000 contracts. So we'll keep it because there's a lot of volume associated with it, although we're not seeing any absorption. And now we're coming back down to that 6,300 level. So right as market opened, we're coming down to that 6,300 level. And if we start to see absorption at that 6,300 level and see a big pop towards the upside with targets that we can reach for above, I might just go ahead and take the longs because it has 1 hour confirmation confluence as well. So say we take a long something like this, place stop, and then targets on bookmap seem to be around 6,330. That's targeting 90 ticks, almost 90 ticks on yes, which is insane. And the risk is too high as well. Typically like to risk around 25 ticks, but that wouldn't work out. So we're just gonna wait to see how close to a level that we can get. And yeah, our game plan is gonna be to simply identify direction. If you start selling off, we'll target towards the next bookmap level. But this gave us the overall structure for the day, and this is more of an imbalance above level as well. So if you break above this with large amounts of strength, we should be able to push towards these all-time high, towards the all-time high region. But if you start breaking through this demand zone, we see seller aggression, we might be able to take a barrier play towards the next bookmap liquidity. But this is just to give us a bit more context into the day. Let's go ahead and quickly do the same on NQ. What am I doing? It's supposed to not be there. It's supposed to be down here. This is supposed to be there. Mark out this last level and then that should be enough. Three hour demand zone here. Do seem to have swept that liquidity there. NQ is selling off much more than ES at the time being. We do have a zone there that does seem to hold to a decent extent. Just a simple wick out. So I'm gonna keep that there as well. Nothing really I'm noticing. Let's see, I'm not seeing much else on the 1 hour. So 30-minute we go. Maybe this is a demand zone. That's quite questionable seeing as how we're selling off right now. We'll mark it. If you break through, we'll remove it. But that would be lower liquidity as well. So this might be where longs start punching in. But I do think it can head a bit lower. Actually, take a look at what we're seeing on Bookmap right now. Lots of passive sellers. It's very aggressive passive selling here at 6310. I might go ahead and push a short there, targeting 6300. But yeah, let's continue with the NQ analysis. Not seeing much else on the 1 hour. 30-minute. You have a 30-minute zone here. Give me 1 second. Uh, uh, mm, 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 mm. Alright, nothing much else on the 30-minute. We do have the same 30-minute man zone here. Essentially, we're seeing pretty much the same as ES, just on a different scale as these highs are much higher than where we're sitting at right now. 15-minute, not seeing much, just a break below that. Now we're on the 5-minute. So yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude this pre-market analysis. We just have to wait to find direction using order flow. Use any of these levels as confluence, additional confluence to those bookmap levels to provide us overall discretion into where we can target, how we think the market is going to play out, and more. But yeah, that's essentially going to be my pre-market analysis for the day. If you have any questions, feel free to join the free Discord server. The link is in the description down below. And if you want to learn more about order flow and starting it for completely free with a small delay, check out the link in the description to utilize our official channel partner, Addis Charts, and also Bookmap Livestream. But that's all I have here for today, and I'll see you guys later today for the market analysis session. Goodbye.